Hi. Yeah. Again. Yeah.
Hello again.
Hello again. So, Snowman Dice. Is it? It is your first children's game,
Yes.
right?
First children's tabletop game. I did a kind of an online game for a site called Disney Club Penguin
Okay.
back in 2007.
Okay.
It was a kids website. It was a little card game for kids. But this is the first physical
Tabletop game.
tabletop kids game. It's always been something I wanted to do, so I was super excited about it.
Well, it's a very big honor for us to have a chance to publish one of your games. I mean, you're a true legend in the gaming industry.
Among people in the game industry.
Yeah.
Like the general public, I'm working on it.
So, when did you start, and how did you start?
I started working at Wizards of the Coast end of 1995. I got recruited to work on development for Magic. I started like right at the end of Alliances and was basically there for 10 years through the Ravnica block. I started as a developer, then I got promoted to designer, then senior designer, and then when Richard left the company in 2001, I took over the lead design position for new games.
And that was the time where you worked a lot on the TCGs, right?
Yes.
On the Magic.
So I worked on Magic the whole time, but I also got to design a lot of the newer trading card games. I worked on the Harry Potter trading card game. Worked on a card game called Hecatomb, Neopets, the WotC version of the Star Wars trading card game. And I designed a game called Duel Masters, which was very, very popular in Japan. It was never super successful in the US, but in the Japan it did over $1 billion.
Wow, that's the one who was like in Japan.
It's huge, yeah. That's by far my most successful game. After I left WotC, I did another game with Bandai called Battle Spirits, which is also incredibly successful and has sold hundreds of millions of dollars.
In Japan?
In Japan as well.
Wow. So your name in Japan is really
in Japan. I'm much better known than in the U.S. and Europe, but I'm working on it. Like hopefully, I've done a lot of games, and so it's kind of slowly building up.
Well, people know your name. I mean, the gaming industry definitely knows your name.
Right, but it's mostly for trading card games. But in the U.S., I'm known for board games for like Thunderstone and Quarriors and Dice Masters, and I did a game a few years back in 2010 called Star Trek Fleet Captains. It was very popular. It's like a big box minis game with 60-page rulebook. It was good. Star Trek fans really liked it.
So how many games and expansions have you worked on?
So if you count like different expansions, I mean some of the games like Duel Masters have like over 100 expansions. So there's like over 300 products that I'm credited on, which there's probably like 50 different unique lines.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. And for Duel Masters, there's still expansions coming?
Yeah, it's still coming. It's still being done. WotC runs it with Takara Tomei. I'm not involved these days with the newer sets. And Battle Spirits is still going on. Duel Master started in 2002 and Battle Spirits started in 2007. So one's 15 years old, one's 10 years old. They're both still going pretty strong.
So I heard you also have a anime character.
Yes. For Battle Spirits, when the game first came out, they put me in the show as a character. The show was about, like a lot of Japanese anime shows, was about the kids playing the trading card game. And in this one, the kids are playing the trading card game, and they don't realize that the company that makes the trading card game is trying to use the trading card game to brainwash kids and take over the world. And I'm a character in the show called Number 2. But my name in the show is actually Mike Elliott, and I'm an eccentric American game designer. And I'm the only person in the company that doesn't realize the company is evil.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And at the end, I help the kids defeat the company. But I'm only on in the first season. Every season they kind of mix it up. Like sometimes they're in space. One of them they're like in this magic kingdom. And it's different characters, but it's always about the card game.
So, yeah, what do you think is the thing or things or few things that people get attracted by in games?
Mostly, nowadays it's got to be really quick to learn. Like if you can't get them having fun within the first 3 minutes, then you're not going to get them. I mean, it can be a longer game where it actually takes a while to teach the full rules, but they have to be having fun like right away because there's like so many games out. It's like if you can't get them in 3 minutes, they're like, "There's that game over there. I'm going to play that instead." So it's got to be easy to learn. It's got to be fun, and the level of game design now is just so much higher than when I was a kid. Like back when you had to play Monopoly and it's like ooh, amazing.
But in gaming in general, what do you think is what's that experience that people get attracted to?
It's a sense of accomplishment. Like in co-op games, it's solving the puzzle. In head-to-head competition, it's I came up with a way to defeat my opponent. But even if I lost, I still like had fun losing. It's like the challenge of trying to overcome the obstacles in the game to win. I mean, that's
so it's like competition spirit.
Most of it's competition, but there's also like now a lot of days there's a lot of cooperative where it's competition to complete something together versus competition where I defeat you. And
so it is a social activity,
right? And that's like probably the largest popular category these days is the social category games, like the party games and ones that you can play with lots of players. I think that's why Codenames is one that's been popular the last few years because you can play it with a group of 10, 15 people. But anything where like you're like where everyone is watching what everyone else is doing on the thing is going to be a successful game.
What do you think, or what's your impression of brain games what is brain games?
So it's a very small, nimble company. It's been very successful. You had the huge hit with ICECOOL, which has that same element where when other people are playing, I want to watch and see if they make the shot. So like even when it's not my turn, I'm still engaged to see like what you're doing. They haven't followed the route of some other publishers where they try and like do a bunch of games. They've been kind of picking and choosing and doing several games a year versus like throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. And
so do you think it's good?
I think that's good. There's so many games coming out now that if you can focus on particular ones and kind of make sure those are quality and get those out versus just I'm going to throw these 8 games out and see if one of them hits, and if one hits, I'll start following it. And then none of them hit because none of them get any traction because 5 people play this one and 5 play the other one, and none of them ever go viral. So you really need to kind of focus and get your message across, and what like there's just so many things coming out now. I mean, there's like a year ago there was like 1 or 2 roll and rights, and now there's like 40 of them. Like, everyone's doing a roll and write. It's like
and now it's dice stacking.
Yes. So this is hopefully a new category. Dice stacking is kind of just something I kind of hit on when I was playing, and I was.
Yeah. How did you come up with idea?
It was actually like just kind of like playing with dice and kind of going like this, and it just kind of like hit me like, oh, you could do like a little dice stacking game, and like basically the game concept came to me in like about a 3 to 5 minute span, and then it was like, okay, now I just have to decide what I'm going to do on the faces, how I'm going to do it, and then like the snowball idea was kind of like, oh, it would be nice if you could kind of interfere. Originally I had like a little disc that you flicked, and then that morphed into just being part of the die. And now you just kind of flick the die and hit it over, and it's a lot cleaner and simpler where you don't have extra stuff on the table.
And it's fun.
It's fun, yeah. There's a lot of satisfaction of I build it, and then there's kind of the tension of like, oh, I'm in a hurry, so I might knock it over because I'm trying to race with somebody else, or somebody like flicks it and hits me, and then I have to start all over again. I envisioned it as a younger kids game, but there's a lot of kind of crossover with these types of things with casual players. I find that a lot with my trading card games, where like there's like the 8 to 12-year-old group that plays it, and then there's also like college students that play it. Because like the same type of light play casual games that younger kids like, a lot of adults like, is kind of filler games. It's like, oh, I don't have 2 hours to play Through the Ages, but I've got like 10 minutes to kill, so let's play a quick game of this. Or we're at the bar and we want to have a little fun, so we're just gonna flick dice together. I see this kind of game being played a lot in kind of light social circles as kind of a filler game.
Totally.
Like, you're not going to play it for 40 minutes or an hour, but you might play a few rounds for 10-15 minutes.
Well, my kids, this is one of the games where my kids want to keep repeating, playing it again and again.
Yes, younger kids may play it for like a long period of time, but it's definitely designed as kind of just an activity that you can have fun with for as long as you want. And
all right. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks.
It was a pleasure working on it.
I was very happy with how the production process went with this. It was great working with Brain Games on this. I have hopes that this game will be successful, and I think
no doubt.
With especially like this packaging is amazing.
All right.
It will. This will probably sell many copies of the game. All right, thanks again.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.